So everyone, thank you for joining us this evening and welcome to Penn State University's Shenango Campus Entrepreneurial Speaker Series. My name is Georgia Macris. I'm an assistant teaching professor in business, and I also serve as the Penn State Innovation Hub here in Hermitage, PA and Sharon, PA, called VenturePointe. Penn State is a Commonwealth-wide initiative launched in 2015 by Penn State University President Dr. Eric Barron, with goals to spur economic development, job creation, and student career success. Under Dr. Barron's initiative, entrepreneurs now in all 21 Penn State campuses enjoy free access to accelerator programs, co-working space, legal and IP advice, mentorship, rapid prototyping, pitch competition, and funding. As part of our mission to raise awareness for our innovation hub, VenturePointe, and for all types of entrepreneurial thinking, which also involve adapting to new environments, intense competition, new product development, new processes, and even now with innovative ways entrepreneurs have taken on to face the challenge of dealing with the unexpected and unimaginable pandemic. So this evening, I am here talking with Executive Director of Oh Wow Science Museum in downtown Youngstown, Ohio, noted as the happiest place in Youngstown. It's my pleasure to introduce you to Miss Suzanne Barbati.
Hi, Georgia. How are you?
Good, thanks, Suzanne. And thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us today.
I'm thrilled to be here. Thanks for the invite.
So my first question is, can you give us a little background into Oh Wow Children's Museum and Science Center, and tell me, how did this idea come about? What idea struck a chord?
So I've been with the museum since 2009, but it started in the early 2000s, 2001, with a group of people here locally who were very interested in establishing a children's museum, and it was the group was led by the Junior League of Youngstown. So they support new projects, and so they, in spite of a study at the time that said our community could not sustain a children's museum, they were so passionate about it that they started one anyway. And so it went from 2004 until 2008. And in 2008, because they were struggling, they switched to a STEM focus: science, technology, engineering, and math. And that has that began our progression, our transformation to Oh Wow in late 2009, when we moved here to the McCrory building.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, very innovative building. I remember it from years ago.
Yeah?
Yes, when I worked across the street at the Strauss's Corporate Center, and at McCrory's Drugstore. Is a beautiful building and still is.
Yeah, it really is.
So in business, we talk about a value proposition. So how does a company sustain that competitive advantage within their strategic area in which they compete? So can you tell us, how do you feel that you bring value to your target audience in the area?
Yeah, I was interested to hear about the Penn State president and why he started the Invent Penn State initiative, because we believe in the same thing, right? We're an economic development engine in the downtown Youngstown area. We bring 85,000 people into the community every year. And we're also interested in career exploration and career development for the very young, and understand that it is when the children are young and they develop those passions because of the experiences they have here, they begin to think about what kind of career they want. And we can help them make those decisions by sharing information with them. Here's the kind of career that you could have if you're interested in chemistry, or blowing things up, or making a a volcano, and here's the kind of money that you can hope to make, and here's the kind of education you need. So they're complementary visions and missions.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
And you also describe yourself as having your target audience for learners of all ages, which I find very fun and very interesting, and very true, because I've been there and experienced myself the exciting, engaging, hands-on experience of the museum. So in March 2020, you were hit head-on with a new, unpredicted, unimagined challenge, okay, the secret enemy of what we call now. And sadly, many businesses and organizations have had difficulty sustaining themselves during these times. And here you are at Oh Wow, a very interactive center, science center, which is all about touch, feel, experience. And your main product offering was now off limits. I mean, many would have seen this as insurmountable and not even thought beyond what can be done. But instead, you took a different approach, which I'd like for you to share. What were you and your team's immediate thoughts when that shutdown happened? And secondly, how did you move past these huge challenges and barriers that really overshadowed your business model?
Yeah, I appreciate that. And I appreciate you talking about our team, because without the team of people we have here, none of our success would have happened, right? And we knew right away that we needed to close. In fact, I think we were one of the first museums in the state that did close. We closed the day after Youngstown State University closed, and immediately knew that we wanted to stay true to our mission and offer resources to the community in any way we could. So right away, we took the products that we've perfected over the years, and we opened in 2011. So 9 years ago, we've been working on these products, even though they were delivered in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
We've had an oh wow moment every Sunday morning on WFMJ for 7, 8, 9 years. And so we took those oh wow moments and we made them into virtual and digital programming for those who had access to the internet. And for those who didn't, we developed a STEM SAC, a science activity kit. And we delivered those. We produced over, I just looked at the numbers. By the end of this month, we will have produced over 40,000 individual STEM student activity, science activity kits. And initially, we used donated materials. We used materials we had in our inventory. We used whatever we could find, and we got those materials into the hands of those students who needed them, who didn't have access to the internet, who were at the lower end of the economic spectrum, and they were so well received that we continued those efforts. So, and again, only possible because of our staff, but also because of our supporters, our donors, our investors in the community. We didn't ask for payment for any of this initially. We applied to the federal government for a payroll protection loan, and we were able to keep most of our staff on until July 1st. So that was a very big deal. We have sponsors now who've committed to underwrite the cost of those STEM bundles through May of next year. So that's been very helpful because it makes us competitive in the market. Our price points are able to beat our competition, if you will.
Well, there you go. And there's your value in such a creative way, an inspiring way. And truly the oh wow is all I can say is wow, because you really live your trade name, your trademark. So we'll talk about the subscription box a little later, because I do want you to describe that, because I just find it so innovative and just a great connection with the community and your members. But before that, tell us, I hear that you are planning your grand reopening, which is like so wonderful to hear, in May 2021.
Yes, yes. We've been planning a reorientation of the entrance to the museum for over a year, and have been raising money toward that effort for over 2 years. Late last year, we were able to purchase the building that we have leased for the last 10 years. And as part of that effort, began to look at that reorientation. And so when school buses come to Oh Wow, they can't park in front of our building. They have to go around the block and park on the street, on Market Street, on Central Square Plaza. It's not a good situation, and it took us a while to figure that out. But once we did, we decided, well, let's move the entrance, right? Because our building is very unique. It is L-shaped, and so there's an entrance on West Federal, and there's an entrance on the Central Square Plaza, which is prime real estate right in the center of the downtown and woefully underutilized. So it's been part of the plan. With COVID and with our inability to open to the public, we decided to reorient the museum to start construction immediately. And so we have contracted with an architectural firm out of Cambridge, Massachusetts, Cambridge 7, and they're internationally known, and they've done work all over the world, and they are going to take us to the next level. We're so excited, so excited. And so as part of that effort, we are starting phase 1. We're looking for a contractor right now, and we hope to be under construction early in December. We'll have a groundbreaking event on December 1st, which is a Tuesday at 10 o'clock in the morning. So I'd love for you all to come.
Oh, that'd be fabulous. Winter, snow and all. I mean, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
And so encouraging for all of us to hear. So tell me, entrepreneurs are thought of as being visionaries and using their creative thinking skills. In addition to their analytics thinking skills, they put on their creative thinking caps. So where creative thinking is solving a problem in a new way, okay? And so you mentioned the subscription box. Here you could not have your customers, your community members, your students come into the Science Center and experience. So that was a problem. That was a big, huge problem. And again, what I described as many would have thought as insurmountable. So how did you solve that problem? And tell us about this subscription box, because really you are reaching out now. And tell us about how you call yourself a museum without walls.
Right. The subscription and all of our, the subscription box, which I think I can share my screen, right? I can show you a picture of it. But in addition to the subscription box, all of the virtual and the digital programming too have enabled us to become a museum without walls. We've reached over 1 million views since March. We've reached people in 74 countries, according to the analytics, and all 50 states in the US. Now, who would have thought that would be possible a year ago? We weren't even thinking about that, but COVID forced us to use the resources we had and offer those to the community, and it's been incredibly successful. So the subscription box is sort of an oh wow moment to go. We talked about that. And the subscription box is similar to other products, right, in the world, but ours is all about the experimentation and the science. And when you talk creativity, it's our education department who comes up with these materials. Maybe it's
so
over.
Brendan Radcliffe is here with us today. He's
Yeah.
our project manager.
Can you find us a STEM box on ohwowkids.org? Can you do that? Can you share your screen?
Yeah, I'll find one for you. One moment.
Yeah,
Okay.
so Brandon, I'll introduce you to him in a minute. He is our project manager director at the eCenter at LindenPointe. And this is who we collaborate with VenturePointe, our Invent Penn State Hub. So he will be introducing, I will be introducing him shortly. So Suzanne, it's amazing the number of people and the countries. Do you feel that a lot of these people, or some of these people, when they're visiting the area, will definitely stop in to see you?
I hope so. I was so thrilled when you talked about your neighbor and said that he had been here with his children.
Oh, many people in Hermitage.
Yeah.
Many. Brandon, for example, has a little girl. He's been there. But yes, many people that I know have been to Youngstown, Ohio, to the OWOW, and all speak very highly of it.
Yes. So we were not able to have our Silly Science Sunday Festival this year, which is a street festival dedicated to science, technology, engineering, and math, where we've had 30 exhibitors all offering hands-on activities to the thousands of people who come downtown on the third Sunday in September. So this year, we collected those materials from all of our partners. We had over 20,000 pieces of materials, all of them educational in some way, shape, or form, all of them interactive, and we packaged those materials into bundles. We called them STEAM bundles because we wanted to promote art at the same time as we promoted STEM. So we had lots of people involved, the Butler, Smarts, and then we distributed those through the local libraries in each of the 5 counties. So Mercer and Lawrence County were involved, Trumbull, Columbiana, and Mahoney. And do you know every one of those 4,000 bundles is gone?
That's amazing.
Every library is out. There were, we had a problem with registration. So there's, you know, when you think about entrepreneurship or creativity or changing processes, you know, it's not a pretty picture. I mean, it doesn't go smoothly, no. And and that's the other thing I want to thank my staff about, because they get their teeth in something and we go for it, and we work around those issues and those barriers, and we figure out a way to get it done. And if it weren't for them, we would be.
And that's why having a great team is so vital. It's a resource in and of itself that speaks highly of your organization. But it is, you know, phenomenal that all these people come downtown Youngstown and all these schools and affiliations. I guess Brandon is telling me that you're able to share your screen now.
Okay, let's see if I can do that. Thanks, Brendan. Well, so ohwowkids.org.
Yes.
There's a Souvenir Shop tab on our website, and if you click on that, it will take you to the bundles that are currently available. We wanted to wait on the subscription. We're unveiling that on Black Friday. So at that point, you can buy a 3, a 6, or a 12-month subscription as gifts or for yourself, your family. But we're building the anticipation for those right now. But the individual STEAM bundles, the individual STEM SAC bundles are currently available.
That's absolutely wonderful. So I want to ask our audience, you know, I've been asking a lot of questions of you, and I want to open it up to question and answers. If anybody has any questions, Suzanne would be happy to answer them. You'll have to type them in the chat. Okay, so we have a question from our community here that says, how long did it take you to come up with the idea of the subscription box? Was it something that you thought about for a month or so, or was it something that came to you right away?
We had actually been looking at the idea of a subscription box before COVID hit. And so have been tossing it around, and it wasn't on my list of priorities for this year, but it was on Ralph's list of priorities. He really wanted to try it. And I kept saying, no, we have this big capital, you know, we have all this other stuff going on. So he was ready.
Yeah.
He was ready before I was ready. And he's the brains.
Yeah, I met Ralph. He's a very very energetic and very creative. I think that you are a tremendous team together.
Yeah.
Yes, so yes, and new processes do not come smoothly as you described. And so when you're going through this process, you've got to continue to pivot and work out the bugs and figure out how are we going to solve this problem. And there's a lot of problem solving and a lot of frustration. And, in this case, there's fear because we're
A little
dealing
bit of
with
fear.
Yes, and in most situations, even in business, you're dealing with limited resources sometimes, and you're trying to balance, those resources effectively. So you have that pressure and those obstacles. But these new processes so many times end up saving many people's business. They provide efficiencies, they provide new opportunities, they open new markets, which is what happened with you with this subscription box. Can you tell, I have another question here. Can you share an example of what may be in the subscription box?
Yes, I can run and get, I was hoping I could show you a picture, but
Just
one,
explain what is kind of in one.
okay, and keep in mind that they don't let me anywhere near the production line, right? So, but I was helping some volunteers today package things, and so there is, the topic for October is electricity. So one of the activities is a salt dough, a homemade Play-Doh, if you will.
Mhm.
But because it has salt, it becomes a conductor of electricity. And so how cool is that, right?
Very interesting.
Once you complete the circuit and all of the materials are in the box, then you can see, I think it's a little light bulb that they packaged in there, and there are batteries, and there's all of the materials you need to make the Play-Doh, make the salt dough, I guess is what it's called. So that's one. The other thing is are you gonna, if you're gonna introduce Brandon, why don't you do that and I'll run and get one?
Okay.
All right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's
I'll be
great.
right back.
Okay, so Brandon, I'd like to introduce you now. If you want to say a few words about the eCenter at LindenPointe and what you're all about there.
Hello, everyone. I am Brendan Radcliffe. I'm the project manager at the eCenter at LindenPointe. And I'd like to thank everyone for joining this Zoom meeting today. At the eCenter, we're a business incubator. We help startups actually go through the process of finding their idea, building it, developing it, and then getting funding, and then scaling and growing. That's pretty much what we do all the time. We have co-working space and we have incubation spaces as well. And we partner with Penn State. We're very proud to partner with Penn State on a lot of our projects and events such as this.
Thank you, Brandon.
You're very welcome.
Any questions from our audience for Brandon? The eCenter at LindenPointe and Hermitage is a beautiful facility, and I encourage everybody to stop by and see it. It's a very innovative, beautiful building.
Thank you.
Okay, so Suzanne is back.
Yes, thank you. I apologize. So this is our STEM SAC bundle.
Okay.
And this was one of the things we had to figure out was how to get these printed at a reasonable cost. And so I love them because they actually have the ruler
Yeah.
and the metric ruler as well on the box. So everything is usable and designed to give people an opportunity to explore and experiment beyond a 45-minute science period, right? So in the bundle, there are directions. We have the story of Oh Wow, and there are 4 activities in the October bundle, which is the, oh, this is the one I couldn't remember, the LED circuit card. You actually get everything you need to build an LED circuit. And you can you end up making a little greeting card that will light up.
How interesting.
And so in addition to the directions, we have a QR code on every lesson plan, which gives parents an opportunity to connect to a video that the staff completed if they have difficulty completing the activity, which some of them are pretty difficult. We have a Wigglebot, which is made out of a toothbrush. The toothbrush, and again, all of the information is here. The toothbrush gets taken apart and it becomes a robot.
Oh.
They're very creative, and again, they don't let me anywhere near this stuff. My job is to get the resources to enable them to do what they want to do, right? This is the Salto circuit. So you can see that they actually, everything is included in here. And when we talk processes, now imagine 4 educators, all college educated teachers, learning how to manufacture and produce materials like this. So all of the oil, all of the materials had to be purchased. We had to source them, we had to purchase them, we had to receive them, and then we had to package them in these materials. So the oil all had to be placed into these little bottles. The salt, the flour, the batteries, and that, I think that's probably, from my perspective, that's the most challenging and the most successful at the same time, because we've become a production facility.
I was just going to say, you have your own supply chain happening and your own production facility at the same time.
We do, and none of us were trained for it, but we have a tremendously active board, and there are people on that board who meet with us every week, who are familiar with the supply chain issues and production issues, and they've really been able to talk us off the ledge when needed, you know, and really have supported us across the board at every point. And then the last one is a static electricity butterfly. So those are the 4 activities. Some of the things we've done, which is so interesting to me, we had all this material for 2020 that now is useless. High quality printed materials that we can now no longer use. So we shredded it, and it became part of the packing material for our STEM bundle, right? So
you have sustainability going on as well.
Yeah, so we really try to use, yeah. So it's just been an incredible experience. The topic for November is COVID related. So we're distributing, our goal every month was 1,000 bundles. In November, we're manufacturing 5,200 bundles because there was funding available through the CARES Act, and the schools were given an opportunity to get free STEM SAC bundles for their students. So we've gone from 1,000 bundles in October to 5,200 bundles in November.
So you and your team have much to be proud of, very, very much so, because being entrepreneurial is not easy, and I speak from experience. There's a lot of challenge, a lot of work, a lot of dedication, a lot of days where, like I said, it's just very, a lot of pressure. So I commend you and your team. I have a question here. How can an individual connect with you if they want to be on your subscription list?
Well, you can do that online right now on our website at owowkids.org, or send me an email, director@owowkids.org, owowkids.org. Director, and you can always talk to Georgia, or if you're linked with her, or again, email me, call me. If you Google "Oh Wow," it'll pop right up, and we're listed there.
Yes, and anybody can contact me at gxm32@psu.edu. So do we have any other questions from our audience? Okay, on that note, Suzanne, I do want to thank you on behalf of Penn State University and our Shenango campus and the eCenter at LindenPointe for sharing all these experiences with us. And thank you to all our viewers who have joined us. I do want to tell everyone that our next VenturePointe speaker series will be on October 19th at 5:30, and we are going to have Chris Becker, the president of G.W. Becker Crane, speak with us. He will discuss how his family business from the 1980s has grown and is now recognized as an industry leader offering a full spectrum of overhead lifting solutions throughout North America. He was classified as by the Department of Health as an essential business during the pandemic. So he was going to share some of those experiences with us. So I hope to see all of you there. If you mark your calendars, October 19th, we will be sending out media about that as well. So I thank you all, and I wish you all to stay safe and have a nice evening. And thank you again, Suzanne, so much. And all of us will be very encouraged to come see you at Oh Wow. And it really is an amazing facility.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Yes, and there's so much happening down there now too. A lot of good things.
Yep.
Okay, thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Thank you.